All right, man. We're back with another one on this fine Wednesday. We're halfway through the week here. We got another episode of Inspired by True Event Sports Podcast here. We got my boy Kenny, got my boy Phil, and we got Neil here. How you guys doing today?
What's going on?
Good.
Yep. You're good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Phil, you alive? You breathing? You breathing? You had a close one, man.
Hey,
Against the Jets.
I think
apparently.
I think my North Utica Pop Warner team in 2009, 2008 could have beat the Jets on national television. I'm just saying.
Steelers struggled against the Cowboys, so anything could happen. It's any given Sunday.
That's true.
Any given Sunday.
All right, man. So I think we had
It was Monday.
What'd you say?
It was Monday.
I said Monday.
Yeah, I think it was a really interesting week last week. A lot of big games, just for yearly awards and things like that that took place, especially with Buffalo and Seattle going head to head. So, Phil, how we looking with the pick'ems? I know I'm last, but it's obviously a race between you and Kenny right now. So, give the people the update.
Well, surprisingly, you're not last anymore due to a newcomer in Neil. So you're the Panthers of the pick'ems now, so you're good.
How dare you insult me like that? Okay,
hey,
don't say I'm not last because by default now.
By default,
dude. Oh, man.
But he might be able to catch you.
What's my head and head against Lawrence from last week?
So we got Neil in fourth place at 3-2. So Lawrence, you got a pretty huge lead here. So try not to blow it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Then we got Lawrence at 12-19 at third place, and then tied to first, me and Kenny with the reversal of Lawrence's record at 19-12.
Damn.
All right, we're looking good. So we obviously we had the highest picks, highest points, obviously through the last week, and nobody got it because nobody picked Buffalo. I don't think, right?
Nope, no one picked Buffalo.
Sir.
I didn't really think of that game either. Like Seattle's always putting points up.
I think everybody still got that idea of Seattle in their head for some reason of them having that
Legion of Boom, exactly.
defense, and it's like that. They haven't had Legion of Boom in like 5 years now.
Oh, I'm not looking at the defense. I already know it's hot garbage. Like the DBs are really suspect, but
right.
Russell.
I think I just figured that Seattle was going to win that game. So
Yeah, but they're not that good. The Seattle, they're not.
You don't believe in the hype?
I don't believe it. Let Russ cook. Every time we let Russ cook, he ends up throwing picks. So something's up over there.
Yeah, you let Russ cook. That means a good thing. Like, I don't know.
Every time the coach lets Russ cook, he ends up throwing picks. He did the same thing in the Arizona game. They got fancy, let Russ cook, and he threw two picks at the end of the game to lose that game.
Hey, but y'all got them this week. So
we'll see, baby. We'll see.
We're you're gonna be singing a different tune, I promise you, next week.
Oh, next Wednesday, if we lose, I'm off this podcast. Because
you might listen. Because you listen, you went on parole because you had a bye week, and now you're gonna be out on trial because you got out a repeat offender. Fraud.
We might need another court case next week.
Right. I'm wearing a different jersey next week if the Rams lose.
So going from there, man. We got the week 10 coming up. What's the pick'ems for this week, Kenny?
We got Baltimore, New England, Tennessee and Indianapolis, Minnesota and Chicago, the Rams and the Seahawks, Tampa Bay and Carolina.
All right, and where you want to start with that?
So let's get the worst one out of the way. Baltimore and New England. And see Phil's reaction.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore, man. I think it's looking real bad over there in New England. And where they playing? I don't know
that off the top of my head.
They're playing in New England, I believe.
It's at New England.
It's at New England? Ooh.
Yep.
Interesting.
It doesn't matter where the game is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Not enough defense from New England, man. And all the pass rushers that Baltimore got. Cam, you're gonna be running. I got Baltimore in this one. It's you.
I'll go next.
Or is it Neil or you?
I'll go.
All right. It doesn't matter.
I'm also taking Baltimore. Yeah, that was way too close last week with New England, and we've seen it all year long. They're not that good. They got killed by the 49ers. They squeaked by the Miami earlier in the year, but Miami's better than we thought they were. But I'm not sold on New England at all. Cam is not the same Cam. Bill is not the same Bill. The defense is not the same defense. Baltimore's going to run away with it.
I don't know about run away. The Patriots defense is really good. Lamar Jackson, he got on track against Colts last week. But Baltimore's defense has a takeaway in 21 straight games. 21 straight games they have a takeaway in. And that I think they're going to find a way to turn the ball over on New England. Cam's going to throw a pick. I mean, that's just what Cam Newton does. He throws interceptions. So I'm going to go – I got Baltimore taking it by 7 points. So that's my pick. Let's hear it.
Triggered!
There we go. Believe in your team, man. Do not listen to us.
I know how we said that in this podcast we're never biased, but I'm going to be biased with this pick. I'm going to go New England in a completely – it's not going to be a pretty game. It's going to be one of those grit games where you have to work for every down, work for every yard. It's going to be one of those close games. I got New England by a late field goal, just like this past game.
Okay.
I love it, Phil.
Baltimore's kind of shaky going into halftime against the Colts, but then their defense comes in and saves them. So
Phil, you can say anything you want to try to convince yourself, but you're not going to convince us. Like, if that's what you need to tell yourself to convince you that you have a chance to make you watch this game this weekend, then you do it.
Hey, listen, Phil. I'm going to tell you right now, man. Whenever the Saints are in these 5 games, they're getting picked every single time.
And wait, we're picking them next week.
You gotta have faith.
Have faith. Just remember who was right about Arizona and Seattle. Just remember that.
Except those were 2 good teams. It wasn't one bad team and one good team.
I don't want to talk
There's
about
a difference,
that game, bro.
There's a difference.
I don't want to talk about that game.
So just another stat to throw at you real quick. So I mentioned the Baltimore turnover stat, 21 straight games. Cam Newton's thrown 5 interceptions and no touchdown pass over his last 4 games. So something's got to give. Something's got to give there.
Where's the Killmonger mean? Is this your quarterback?
All right, what's the next one? What we got next?
We got Tennessee and Indianapolis. I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm not 100% sold on them. I've been saying it all year. But I'm not sold on Phillip Rivers as a quarterback either. So this is going to be really ugly all the way around. I think it's going to be the Derrick Henry show, though. Ryan Tannehill does enough to win games. He's not going to lose you a game, but he ain't going to win you a game. Phillip Rivers may lose you a game because he just loves to turn the ball over. So I'm going with Tennessee.
I'm gonna go with Indy on this one. I think Indy bounces back from just the game where Baltimore just controlled the whole game last week. So I think Indy's gonna take that one.
That's an interesting pick. I like Tennessee in this game. I think Phillip Rivers can easily lose this game, like Kenny said. I think Phillip Rivers can easily lose this game. The only thing that's got me on the fence a little bit is that Colts defense is real good. And I believe Tennessee lives and dies by Derrick Henry. And I believe Colts defense will stop Derrick Henry. So it's going to be up to Tannehill. Tannehill's got better weapons, I believe. He's got A.J. Brown. He's got Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith at the tight end spot. So I think the Tennessee skill positions will outplay the Indianapolis skill positions, and the quarterback play will just be better. I'll go Tennessee by 2 points there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to roll with Tennessee as well, just because not only Phillip Rivers is going to be the guy who's going to pass no matter what, wherever, but also the running backs play has been shaky with Jonathan Taylor and also Nyheim Hines and the third one. So they're kind of all confused on offense everywhere. So I have Tennessee winning by 10.
Ooh.
Oof. Next one, we got Minnesota, and Chicago. Philip, you want to go first this time?
Yep. I'm gonna go with Minnesota in an upset. Even though, I don't know if you
is it an upset though?
Is it an upset?
Is it an upset though?
Minnesota's favored by 2.5 right now.
Oh, it is? Okay, never mind. So
Yeah.
not an upset. I got Minnesota just because the Bears are progressing even more on offense now. They're just as clueless as the Colts are on offense. Plus, that defense can't do all the work. So I'm gonna have Minnesota by a touchdown.
I'll go. I think the Bears have won the last 4 against Minnesota, but this year I believe is a different story. Nick Foles, I don't know why he's continued to be rolled out there. They're not winning with him, so I don't really know what's going on there. You got also, I mean, is Trubisky your guy? We got to figure something out here. I don't understand why they keep rolling him out there, but Dalvin Cook is going to tear up the Chicago defense real good. If Dalvin Cook gets 22 carries this season, he rushes for 130 plus yards. That's a fact. That's a hard fact. So
can you imagine knowing that? You come into the defensive meeting, you're like, if this guy touches the ball 20 times, he gonna carve us up.
Yeah, if he touches the ball 22 times, he rushes for 130 plus yards and he scores 9 touchdowns. And the Vikings don't lose when he does that. So I think that's what's going to happen. Vikings realize that now after the last game, they're going to live or die by Henry. So it's going to be a tough night for Bears and Bears fans because that's that bitter rivalry. So they know it's going to be tough. But I'm going to go.
Where are they playing? They playing in Chicago?
It's at Chicago too. I believe Chicago's letting fans in now. Not a lot, but I think they have fans there. So I'm going to go Dalvin Cook, tear up the Chicago Bears. I'm going to go Minnesota by 3.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Neil. I think Dalvin Cook is going to run all over them. I think the Vikings are like Tennessee light in a sense where you have to feed the running back, and everyone knows they're going to feed the running back, but good luck trying to stop our running back.
Right.
And Kirk Cousins is in the same situation as Ryan Tannehill. He is never going to win you a game, but he's not bad enough where he's going to lose it for you yet. So as long as Dalvin Cook gets the ball enough times, I don't see Chicago stopping them.
And especially with that offense, if you open up their passing game, they don't have scrubs at wide receivers.
Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. I mean, they're tight ends. Even Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith Jr. Like they're not bad.
Yeah.
As long as Kirk Cousins can get the ball to them, they're not a bad team.
I think pounding the rock is going to open up the passing game a little bit for them. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Vikings too. Been watching Dalvin Cook. I've been hoping he'd finally show up and have a consistent 2 or 3 weeks where he's not injured with hurt knee, turf toe, a broken finger now.
Oh, man.
He's always hurt. I love the way he runs, man. He has his twitch muscles when he's running.
Fast.
Reactions, he's unbelievable. So I'm going to definitely go with the Vikings there.
Something that scares me about Dalvin Cook a little bit, though, is the injuries. He's your franchise running back without a doubt. You know, I get flashbacks of Todd Gurley when I think of it. I'm like, man, they're going to give him all this money. You know what I mean? He's gonna carry him for a couple seasons, but what's going to happen with that knee? Yeah. He did tear that ACL. What's going to happen with that knee down the line? I don't know. I hope nothing happens. Obviously,
he got hurt. He got hurt at Florida State too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been injury prone throughout his career. I hope he can get through it, but you know, it's just scary. It's scary to pay running backs, man. It's real scary.
Next one we got the LA Rams and Seattle Seahawks.
Who am I going to pick this game?
Go ahead. You go first, bro. You go first.
Seattle gives up 455 yards a game. LA is 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games. Just so you know, everybody knows. I mean, if any bettors are out there listening to it, LA is 8-1 against the spread. Rams got part of my friends fucked up in Miami. They're not letting that shit happen again. They're gonna come out here. They're gonna tear up the Seahawks. The Rams, just so everybody knows who's listening, I'm a Rams fan, obviously, but the Rams are a missed catch in the end zone and a 1 inch to the left field goal kick by Greg Zuerlein from being 6-0 against the Seattle Seahawks since McVay has taken over. I don't think anything freaky is going to happen this game. I'm going to go Rams by 7.
Rams by 7? Yo, I've said it on here multiple times since the Cardinals and Seattle game. And Russ, we trust. Run it into the ground till we get to the core of the earth. Russell Wilson he's gonna bounce back. He had a terrible week last week. 4 turnovers, 2 picks, 2 lost fumbles. No way he comes in. What, they're going to LA?
It's in LA.
It's in LA. It ain't gonna matter though. He on the West Coast. Time don't change. So like
Rams haven't lost at home yet this year.
Hey man, that's nice.
It's the first time.
This is the first time for everything in every season. You feel me? Like I got Seattle by 10.
Rams are getting A'Shawn Robinson back.
10.
Just so everybody knows, A'Shawn Robinson is back in this game. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get, but he is in the game. And we're getting our rookie safety back, Jordan Fuller. He's a beast.
You sound like you're trying to just make yourself feel so much better.
I'm not worried.
You sound like Phil trying to convince himself that they're going to beat the Ravens.
I'm not worried at all. I'm just saying you're going up against the top 5 defense in the league and without a running back. Chris Carson's hurt.
He might be coming back this week.
He might be
coming back, but he's got a foot sprain. He's still hurt. And DJ Dallas ain't going against Aaron Donald. No way. It's going to be tough for Russ. And don't forget, Jalen Ramsey's over there too. Who's he going to target? Jalen Ramsey's going to cover Lockett and DK. He's got them all. And Russ, you trust until he throws 4.
Listen, I can't wait to see DK Little Boy your DBs.
I'm locked. Listen, favorite game of the week right there for me. I'm locked in. I'm
tuned in.
Because I promise you, DK about to torch that man. He's about to abuse Jalen, bro.
I'll bet money right now on the podcast on a line for DK Metcalf with you right now if you want.
Nah, I bet you 100 push-ups. I'm not betting you money.
Yeah, I can't even do 100 push-ups.
That's unfortunate. Like
10 push-ups. All right, we'll talk off
money.
The cast then. We'll talk off camera.
All right, so Phil, what you thinking about that game, man? What you thinking?
I mean, pretty much you guys nailed on the head. Russ had a bad performance last week. He's gonna do whatever it takes to rebound and get it back because everyone's talking about Seattle's defense and that. So I'm guessing they have something to prove too. I'm guessing they take the ball away from Goff maybe once or twice. Ooh. So Seattle's got something to prove. So I got Seattle by 10.
Oof. Wow. I'm not banking on that defense. I'm banking on Russ. And I'm banking on Russ not losing back-to-back games. But I will say Russ's MVP tour, it's kind of – if there's naysayers out there, they can point to the 2 games they've lost this year. He's played like absolute dog poop. Like he's multiple turnovers. Like if you're going to be an MVP, you can't have games like that. Like against playoff caliber teams, that's going to be used against you.
In those 2 losses, I think he had 6 to 8 turnovers total.
Yeah, because he had 2 in Arizona, and then he had 4 last week. Yep. So that's the reason you lost both them games. Like so, you're the reason your team is winning, but only 2 losses are also on you too, buddy. But I don't think that he loses this week. But I will say the Rams have always had Seattle's number, even like since Pete Carroll's got there, like that. So that does scare me, but I'm not trusting. I'm not trusting the Rams to take them down this week.
Aaron Donald is the owner of the Seattle Seahawks, by the way. He owns them.
This guy.
Unbelievable, bro.
He owns them. Also, after bye weeks, Rams will come off a bye. After bye weeks under Sean McVay, the Rams are 2-1. Also, just want to throw that stat.
Listen. Yo, you know what's crazy? What I want to point out, right, is Kenny. If I was to say any of this about the Saints, you would be all over me. He's making excuse after excuse, bringing up random stats.
I called him. I told him I've told him already. He's making stuff up to make himself feel good. Like, but that's what he's got to do. That's what he's got to do.
He said,
shut up.
He said when Sean McVay eats ramen noodles and
right.
microwave 30 seconds.
If Jalen Ramsey took a 30-minute nap the Saturday before and it was 7 o'clock and man,
you're gonna shut down DK. Like, no, bro. We're gonna wait. Listen, all those stats don't mean nothing, bro.
Okay.
It don't mean nothing.
All right.
Like,
All right. Well, when that shit, you'll see, baby.
Yeah, we'll see. Lawrence, let him have it. So next week you can just come on this podcast smiling.
I'm the only person that picked the Rams?
Yes.
Yep.
I got listen.
Lone Wolf. Woo!
Bro, y'all might listen. I'm
the
giving
one
y'all.
that picked New
I'm
England.
giving y'all. Listen, it might. I said 10. 10 is generous. Russ might go for 4 or 5, bro.
I think I got Seattle by like 4. I'm not gonna get wild like that.
What do you think? I don't understand. Where is the Rams defense just bad all of a sudden?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why
Like,
I got
better
the Seahawks by like
offense,
4.
Just better offense. I don't know. Like you make plays. That's what you do.
Right. I'm not going that far. Like, I don't see it being a 2-possession game because Seattle can't hold water. But
no,
we're gonna see. We're gonna see for sure. What's
All
the
right.
last game we
what's
got?
the next game?
Last but not least, the Carolina Panthers and the fraudulent Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I hate them. I hate them. Well, you know what's crazy, though, is before the year started, you could ask Lawrence. I said the Buccaneers are really not as good as everybody wants to say they are. But you know what it is? I don't like the Saints, so I had to pick them last week. Like, but
Kenny, what is it? We know what it is, Kenny. We talked about it last week. It's the AB effect.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, no. But
we're gonna get to the Bucks, man.
Even though I think they're frauds, because that's what they are frauds. I'm still picking them over Carolina. Carolina plays good teams tough. I'm not saying they don't. They just play Kansas City really well. Their games they lose good games. They lose close games. But I think there's another close game they lose. I mean, as much as I hate Tom Brady, do we see him throwing up another dud? I don't see it happening 2 games in a row. I think they're going to game plan differently. Bruce Arians also is not – he's a coach that's too proud to lose 2 games back-to-back bad like that. So I'm going with Tampa Bay over Carolina.
For me personally, I'm torn between this. Got the news. I had them as soon as I saw the schedule come up. I had the Panthers, but my man McC is out. Bucks.
Did they officially rule him out?
Yeah, he's
out for the week.
Yeah, he's out. Yep. So I think the Bucks win this game, but if McC's there, I think it's a different conversation. But I definitely got the Bucks in this one.
Although they've lost every game with McCaffrey this year. Just side note. I mean, they've been against all good teams though, so it's kind of a skewed stat. But it's just crazy to think.
Those stats don't matter though.
But if you heard what I said, it's a skewed stat.
But it's their best player. It's their franchise player.
I'm talking this season. You're talking since McVay's been there.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday, if Jalen Ramsey takes his shit at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Tuesdays, but I agree with all y'all. I don't think Tom Brady is damn sure not going to lose a game back to back after that. I mean, they got mollywopped. They got smoked last game. I think this is going to be a revenge game. It's going to be like a punch the wall to take your anger out game right here. Tampa Bay is going to run it up. I think Carolina's it's not a slouch either though. I mean, Carolina played real good against the Falcons, but Falcons got that win. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to come in. I think they're going to win by 10 points. And it's at Carolina also, if that matters. I don't know. But
no, I don't think so.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make it 4-0 Bucks because after that performance, they're going to have to come out all angry and shit just to prove themselves again because everyone, including Kenny, is calling them frauds. So they're going to have to put up one hell of an offensive performance this week to make sure that they keep their hopes alive. So I'm going to go with
No, you know what? I called them frauds, but I guess they're not frauds because, like I said, at the beginning of the year, I said I didn't think they were going to be that good. So you know what? They are who I thought they were. Like the great Dennis Green said.
Yeah, so I'm going to go them. No, I'm going to go a blowout win for the Bucks. They're going to need something after that Saints game. They're going to blow out the Panthers by 2 touchdowns.
Oof.
I think it's going to be like when they played the Raiders. Like the Raiders were a good team, but they just came off of that bad loss against Chicago. I'm pretty sure that was right. And they came out rolling. They didn't even get AB involved last week. Like, come on.
You can see. I mean, we kind of touched on it last week when we said it's a Steelers offense, but you can definitely see he needed some time to acclimate to that offense. AB.
Yeah.
I mean, one of Tom's picks came off of a AB option route. I'm assuming.
So since we're talking about it, let's go right into it, man. The Bucks versus Saints game. What was y'all take from this game?
I think
I don't go first.
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence, you're the fan. You go ahead.
We got a whole hour for you.
I'm realistic with it. I think I didn't. For me, I'm gonna be completely honest. I did not expect it to be a steamroll like that in the first 2 quarters. I did not expect that. But I did expect the swagger to be back for the Saints because good old Slant Boy is back. His presence wasn't really too big. I think they just want to get him involved on the field. But I think that opened up everything else. And I kind of saw early in the game, and even people were saying that, like, I kept seeing them run zone, and I was really confused on why they were doing that. For the simple fact that Drew Brees was like almost perfect in the first quarter, like on every hitch route, he kept just running hitch routes.
He didn't complete 5 passes, just so you know. Five passes did not catch and touch receivers in that game.
So I think, for real, I just think is the Saints just when they play the Bucs, those guys are charged up because Mike Evans doesn't know how to shut his mouth.
Got shut down.
Godwin, I don't think Godwin
against Lattimore.
Yeah, he always does. Just for some simple facts here, I just want to point this out. When Tom Brady played the Saints, out of 2 games this year, out of the whole season, he's got 7 picks. He's got 5 picks against the Saints by himself. Wow. So I'm just saying,
if only your defense can play against other teams.
The Saints also have 72 points in 2 games against the Bucs this season. This defense is supposed to be top 5. Houston, we got a problem. 72 points on a guy that has a noodle arm, a SpongeBob arm. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. If he has a SpongeBob arm, how do the Saints score 72 points?
That arm waves in the wind.
Okay. And another thing is the Saints had over 2 times more yards than the Bucs did. And how about another thing, how do you kick a field goal just so you say you did not get blown the fuck out?
Or shut out. Yeah.
Shut out, yeah. They still got blown out. They just got
blown out, shut out, stepped on. Listen, man. And another thing is, I want to point out, everybody's worried about the Saints, saying they're not playing that well. About 5-6 games this season, they got at least 30 points. So, I think that's pretty good.
I'd say so.
I think it's good. But I'm gonna just light rant. I don't think the Bucs are as good as they say they are or think they are. You still gotta get chemistry. You're bringing. I don't know why you bring in AB. It's a bad idea because you want to develop Scotty Miller. Chris Godwin is gonna. I think Chris Godwin is gonna eventually want out of there. I don't know, but that's my take on it. I think the Saints were rolling. I kind of expected them to win this game, but not in this fashion because obviously Slant Boy is back, opened up everything for everybody else. And Kamara was really quiet in the game too. So
that's what I was going to say. What is actually scary about this game for the rest of the league is that Alvin Kamara was a non-factor in this game. They went berserk.
He had like probably 70, 80 all-purpose or something like that.
Right, but for him, that's a non-factor. Like 80, he gets 80 yards when he wakes up in the morning.
You can see that they definitely game planned to stop Alvin Kamara in that game.
Yeah.
What's also scary is Drew Brees. I mean, I've watched the Saints because I'm a Falcon fan, so I always know what's going on. Drew Brees is usually notorious for going to one guy all the time, whether it was Marcus Colston, Michael Thomas. He got, 12, 13 guys involved? The third-string tight end was catching – by the third quarter. Right. If that's going to happen, that's a problem.
That's bad.
Like that. Like if that could be an issue.
Third-string tight end had –
play like that, that's an issue.
Third stringer had 2 TDs.
Yeah, like that's going to be an issue for the rest of the league if that's going to continue. But like earlier in the year, Lawrence and I had this conversation all offseason. The Buccaneers, I didn't think they were going to be that good. The problem is just that I did not expect the Falcons to be this bad in the NFC South. to where as I had no choice but to say that the Buccaneers were going to win this game, because I also didn't think the Saints were going to be this good. The division flipped on its head for me, and I fell into the hype because I can never pick the New Orleans Saints, even if they're playing the New York Jets. It's just not in my blood. It's never going to happen. I'm just going to be honest.
I'm never picking Seattle. So
yo, and another thing is what was really, really key to me watching it as a fan was watch Sean Payton open the entire fucking playbook and absolutely destroy call after call after call. Taysom Hill was never really involved in other games, and then he unleashes him for this game.
Because Sean Payton is petty. That's what Sean Payton does. He is, and he's. It's just a known fact. He tells the Falcons they're chokers. I mean, after you guys choked the lead against us last year, but that's a whole different story. But that's what he's a petty guy, and he's tired of. Listen, we've been running this division. You guys brought in Tom Brady, and all of a sudden it's all about you. No, you saw him dancing in the locker room. That's also the only thing that scares me is the way that the Saints celebrated last week, like they just won the Super Bowl. It's only week 9, bro. We still gotta get this shit going. Like, don't let this be your Super Bowl. You beat the Buccaneers twice. Keep rolling, because that could be what's scary is when teams beat a team this bad and they get this excited. Yeah. It can go downhill from here.
Yeah. That's a really good point. And just to add to all that, they had 12 Saints catch passes in that game. They had 7 Saints run the ball in that game, and you had 3 Saints throw a pass in that game. You want to talk about open up a playbook. That's how you open up a playbook right there.
Bombs away.
I think the storyline behind this game, if anything, is the Saints defense. They shut me up real quick after last week when I told them when I said something about this.
But I feel like they're not even that. They're not that bad.
Not at all.
It's the PI calls. The PI calls gives them chunk yards down the field,
yes.
And then you're like, damn, the Saints suck.
But they could have had PI. I mean, they could have had PI calls in that game too, because Tom Brady was chucking the ball, and I mean, you could kind of see he was throwing the ball deep, trying to get some momentum going, grab a PI call, but he didn't get anything. But I would have never, ever, ever thought that the Saints defense would hold that Buccaneers team with. I mean, it looks like a Madden franchise team. To 194 total yards. That's insane. I would have never, ever picked that. And I don't know. I think there's a reason why people pick the Saints to go to the Super Bowl this year. And a lot of it, I think, hinges on that defense.
They were just in like hibernation. I don't know what it was.
I think getting slant guy back definitely, up the ante a little bit for the team. They started to realize, we have a chance here. Let's smoke this team. We have a chance. Let's show everybody what we can actually do. Also, to Kenny's point, they were real hype at the end of that game. Like,
you talking about the locker room thing?
Yeah, the Saints were real hype after that game.
It's a rivalry game.
So they were. I was about to say they've been doing that for the past 2 years though too.
Right, but rivals. I mean, but they're your rivals. But I mean, the Saints' real rivals are the Falcons. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's a division game. It'd be like Phil, if you go and the Patriots beat Miami, they're gonna go in the locker room and celebrate like that. It's the same thing. It's a division game.
Yeah, I think that was more individual than anything. Especially, I feel like the Bucs versus Saints is literally Lattimore against Evans.
Lattimore was like.
Also, another note is Tom Brady, Drew Brees are neck and neck for that touchdown pass record, and
like you,
Brees now has the 3 up on Brady. So I don't know if it was a little, he wanted to catch him in that game or pass him in that game, but maybe that had a little extra juice in him. But the noodle arm was steroided up like that in that game. That's for sure. That thing was Stretch Armstrong in that game.
It looked like when SpongeBob put the arm.
The puff
arm. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
He puffed that bad boy up.
Puffed it up.
Yeah,
I said, is that Drew or Taysom Hill out there? Jesus.
Hey, bro, listen, he was just throwing hitch routes after hitch route. I'm like, I'll take it.
It was working for Saints, obviously. Since everyone, the whole hype around the league was, the Bucs are this and this and this, and then the Saints are declining. So this is obviously a very, very personal game for the Saints. So maybe that's why they were sort of banned in the locker room that much, because they wanted to prove everyone and the haters wrong. So it was that bad that even Jameis Winston came in the game, and he was hyped up after the game too, eating W's on the post interview.
Yo, another thing too, I was furious when I start, like, how the pregame thing comes up, and everybody. I said, wow.
Yep.
like I didn't think the Saints was gonna violate like that, but
I
was like,
man,
you don't pick
bad omen.
You have everybody back, everyone's healthy, both sides, and you don't even get like it didn't make sense to me, especially Michael Thomas being back. Like I didn't understand that. That was my thing. If Mike Thomas was out, I would understand it, but
they did the same thing to the Rams when they played the 49ers. Everybody in the media picked the 49 or the Rams, like literally every single person from each network. And I was like, that's it. Just slap an L on them right now.
In their defense, it's not like it was a bad team. Like the Buck, I mean, it was easy. It's like splitting hairs, but at the end of the day, it is also so there's an individual person's pick. Like it'd be like on the podcast if all three of you picked the Buccaneers. Oh, I got to pick the Saints out just so that one person doesn't pick them. Like, no, if I think the Buccaneers are going to win, I'm going to pick the Buccaneers. Like,
yeah. It's just a bad omen.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a bad omen, but I don't think it's a slap in the face. Like, I mean, if everyone picked against my team, I would feel the same way. But I think that it's not the big slap in the face that teams want to believe it is when you're picking two good teams. Now, if you're talking about picking a team that's way worse than you, then yeah, that's disrespectful.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, big shout out to Trey Hendrickson, man. He's balling this season, third in the league in sacks.
Yeah, he
3 straight plays. That man was living in Tom Brady's face.
Cam Jordan too. Cam Jordan looked real good in that game too. Cam Jordan looked good.
Precious, man. But going from there, another huge game. Just from a standpoint of quarterback battle, we had Russell Wilson and the Seahawks against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Josh Allen keeps evolving his game. He's shown to be really consistent. And early on in the podcast, Phil and Kenny were laughing at me believing in the Buffalo Bills, and here they are, 7-2. 7-2.
Listen,
I like them.
I wasn't laughing at you for believing in the Bills. I was laughing at you for I just don't think they're a true contender. They're a good team. They're going to win that division.
Yeah.
But if you think that they're going to contend for a Super Bowl, I still think you're nuts.
And we also had cushion room in the pick'em, so we kind of had that. We had the room to make that error, sort of.
All right, so what do you guys think about that game? As far as the play from Josh Allen and then obviously the play from Russell Wilson.
So I watched this game heavily because Seahawks, obviously we needed them to catch the L, which they did. Thank God. Josh Allen.
You're hoping Russell Wilson plays like that, right? I think that's what you're gonna be dreaming tonight, like Saturday night. You're gonna be like, hope he plays like that. Hope he plays like that.
I'll tell you what. I wish the Buffalo Bills probably wish they could play every game against NFC West because they gave it to the Rams just like they gave it to the Seahawks that game. Josh Allen played out of his goddamn mind. The dude threw 31 for 38 with 415 yards and 3 tubs. he didn't get 7 passes were incomplete. Like that, Josh Allen.
Not to mention his running.
The dude is good. I mean,
he's a baller.
Yo, to be honest, they don't even need running backs.
They don't.
I don't even know why they're even there. Like
I just dropped Devin Singletary in fantasy because what's the point? He's just there.
Zach Moss, he gets receptions and shit like that. But other than that, straight running, they're going with Josh Allen.
They had
anything inside the 5.
Yeah, Zach Moss had 18 yards rushing, and Josh Allen had 14 yards rushing, and their other 2 running backs had 1 yard apiece. That's all they had for rushing yards. Josh Allen did the rest. And I believe after this game, Josh Allen puts himself right back up in the MVP conversation for sure after this game.
Absolutely.
For sure.
If you're going to talk about Russell Wilson as an MVP,
you got to talk about Josh Allen.
You have to talk about Josh Allen.
Yeah,
they have the same record, and he outplayed him head-to-head by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills are 7-2. The Bills are starting to – I mean, everybody kind of gets their hopes up with the Bills, and then they kind of just like what happened last year. But I think the Bills can definitely make moves for sure. They're looking real. They exposed Seattle last week. Seattle got exposed last week. I'm not saying that as a Rams fan. I'm saying it as a fan of the game. They got exposed. Their defense is bad. I mean, super bad.
What's crazy is that game actually looks closer than it was. Like, Buffalo dominated them. Then at the end, like, even when Seattle made the little runs where you thought
Seattle might come back. No, I mean Buffalo was up 24-10 at the end of the half, and then the game kind of went slower down. They kind of slowed down a little bit from there, but Russ started to make some crazy throws, crazy plays because that's just what Russ does. But it was really never in question for Buffalo. Seattle got exposed for sure, and Buffalo made themselves known in the league after that game, beating a Super Bowl contender, or what the league believes is a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, pretty much for Seattle, it's basically a couple years ago, or like a lot of years ago, it was Legion of Boom, but now their biggest strength is now their biggest weakness. So they're gonna have to try to figure something out if they want to contend for that Super Bowl. And then going back to Buffalo, their offense is clicking right now. All they need is for that defense to show up like 75% of what it was last year, and they can make a run just as much. So they're going to have to need a defensive end from Buffalo to step it up even more than what they did against Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just that Buffalo team right now, as long as Josh Allen, even if Josh Allen gives you half of what he gave you last week, they're going to be in good shape. Like, because you have to think their defense is going to turn it on at some point. Like Phil said, even if it's not the same defense as last year, you give me half, 75% of what you were last year. You give me Josh Allen playing half as good as he did last Sunday. That's good enough to win that division. That's good enough to win you one playoff game like that.
Mm-hmm.
This Buffalo is for real. I'm not saying they're not for real. I still don't think they're a Super Bowl contender yet. I think they're a couple pieces away from that, but they are a team that's going to make noise, and I would not want to play them if I were in the playoffs. So it's not a team I'm going in there saying, oh yeah, we got Buffalo, this is good. Like, I wouldn't want to see them because Josh Allen can do what he just did. Like Neil said, they had under 50 rushing yards, and they absolutely went berserk still. That doesn't happen. Like, a team should not be able to do what they just did.
Yeah, they had 19 rushing attempts, 19 attempts of rushing, and 7 of them were from Josh Allen. So
yeah, I think you guys all hit it on the head, man. Like, I think Seattle's defense is just a super liability right now, and they need to help Russ when he has these type of games. That's what the defense is there for. If he has 4 turnovers,
somebody's got to get a stop.
Try to get two to cover to cancel it out. Get 2 turnovers to cancel it out. So it's 2 more opportunities to score. But Buffalo they're just a well-knit team, and you don't hear any nonsense from them. I don't know, man. I just like how they play. Like,
yeah,
Tre'Davious is a dog. You got Edmonds over there. You got both of the safeties. Both of them are Pro Bowl caliber safeties, and they know where to be at on the field. So I think the biggest thing for me from that game was at Seattle, you guys need to figure it out defensively. So
yeah, and shout out to Josh Allen too, playing the day after his grandmother died as well. He definitely showed out for her. Shout out to him for that.
Yeah,
that's just one more thing. National media and just fans in general, just because Russell Wilson is a nice guy, we can't give him a pass for playing that bad. Like, if this were any other quarterback that just had the game he had against a playoff contender, we'd be murdering him.
Oh, no, he played
if Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson had this game, like if Lamar Jackson had the same game Russell Wilson had, everyone would be bashing him saying, see, he's not really a quarterback, blah, 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 blah. Russell Wilson doesn't, and it's, their defense didn't help him. But yeah, the defense didn't help him, but you're an MVP candidate. You can't give the other team the ball 4 times.
Figure it out.
I'll figure that out. I mean, listen, DK Metcalf went off too, by the way. Man. He had 108 yards, touchdown. I mean, that dude is a monster, but obviously you're going to throw the ball a lot. I mean, Russ threw the ball 41 times, so when you're down and out, you got to toss it around.
And another thing is you got to think about Chris Carson's gone. He's going to be dropping back more.
Yeah.
So the game that I don't think a lot of people understand that you guys do because you guys watch your teams, but people that sit there and like, why did Russ pass the ball 41 times? Well, he doesn't have his Pro Bowl running back. So the Pro Bowl running back is going to get 20 touches. The game is different. The pace is different.
Yep.
He breaks off a run where Russ doesn't have to throw the ball 12 times on the drive.
Right.
Yeah, DJ Dallas had 31 yards rushing that game.
Yeah,
right.
So.
And not even just the Pro Bowl running back. He was missing his backup running back, Carlos Hyde. They're on
Carlos Hyde, too.
DJ Dallas was literally in there when both the running backs were like out of air and needed oxygen tanks earlier in the year. And now he's your feature back.
And Rashad Penny's on IR still, too. So they did. I mean, that's DJ Dallas is really their 4th string running back, really, if you think about it. So, I mean, but Seattle's run game since Marshawn Lynch really has not been existent. They really don't have a run game. Their offensive line, yeah, but they don't. It's not a staple of their game. It's more like let Russ toss the ball around and let us run the score
Right.
out.
It's more complimentary.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like one of those teams where you have to run the ball to set up the pass. It's a let's run the ball maybe to throw them off because they think we're gonna pass kind of a team.
I don't know about you, but I'm putting the ball in my best player's hands every time. If I got Russ, he's touching the ball every time.
Right.
Like,
you don't need to pass.
Okay, who the running back is? He the best player. Like,
Right.
If we're gonna lose with him getting sacked and a pick or something else. We're not about to lose by running the ball 25 times.
Well, Russ, I mean, I'm just saying, Russ, look who's coming next week.
Oh, here we go.
Russ, look who's coming next week, baby.
Oh man. But yeah, going from there, man. We try. Well, I personally have a problem with the fans in this division because they're really delusional. And they don't know what the hell they're talking about week in and week out, year after year, month after month, off season after off season. The NFC least, NFC trash. It's getting interesting. They're all at what are they? All at 2 wins right now.
Eagles have 3.
Eagles have 3 wins.
My fault. But they're about to play Danny Dimes in them. Giants defense showing up.
Everyone else has 2.
Yeah.
All right.
And Washington just lost their starting quarterback to a nasty leg injury. It's like if you play for Washington as a quarterback, you're going to bust your leg in some crazy way.
But you know what's crazy? Like Washington, it's not like you're missing it. All 3 of them quarterbacks are the same. It's not like you lose one and say, "Oh, I got that much worse." Like Alex Smith can do what Kyle Allen did. Dwayne Haskins can do what those guys do.
Haskins looked good in the beginning of the year. I just don't get it. He's not even with the team right now.
Yeah,
it's stacked. It was stacked against him. They didn't. Soon as everybody took over, he was out of there.
Well, even the last regime didn't want him. The only person that wants him in Washington is the owner. Yeah. That's literally the only man who wants him there.
Why?
And then Ron Rivera brings his guy. He
Kyle
literally took Cam over. Yeah, so it's like now you ain't got him, so now you want. Another thing is that situations like that. And then you want the players to trust you. It's like, bro, I can't trust you.
Like, and I really do feel for Haskins, though. Like, to me, he's like the Josh Rosen of that draft class. He got put in a situation where he was picked by a team where nobody wanted him.
And now, no
matter what, it doesn't matter. Like, as bad as it is, I don't think we're ever going to know how good Dwayne Haskins could have been because he's just going to be an afterthought. And I feel the same way about Josh Rosen that year. Like, these poor guys, you leave college. You get drafted to a team. You have no say where you go. They change coaching staffs on you. They change the GMs on you, and you're stuck.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, really, the NFC East is just a toss up, man. Every weekend is a toss up.
So who do y'all think is gonna win? Who do you think is gonna be the division leader at the end of the season?
Philly,
and go into the playoffs.
I think the Cowboys will be.
You think the Cowboys?
I think once the Cowboys get Dalton back, I think they're going to win some games.
Well, I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say Washington. Alex Smith.
You're going to say Washington?
If Alex Smith can be like Alex Smith was, where he's just a capable game manager, I think their defense is good enough. And you still got Scary Terry over there. And them running backs are pretty good in Washington.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for the Giants, they don't get to play Washington every week, and that seems to be the only team they know how to beat. So I don't see them winning.
So this is Giants' schedule. You got Eagles, Bengals, Seahawks, Cardinals, Browns, Ravens, Cowboys. See you fucking later. 2-14.
Yeah, they might not win another game.
2-14.
No, they might. They might
luck.
win. No, they might go 3-13 because they'll beat somebody in their division somehow.
Yeah, they only have the Eagles and the Cowboys left.
That's what I'm saying. They'll beat one of them.
They always play both those games tough. It's just
they're playing good football right now. It's on the defensive side. But they've got to be able to put the games.
If Jones can stop throwing the ball away, if Danny Dimes can stop throwing the ball away,
it's over city for him.
Right?
I want to just sit down with him and turn film on and be like, "What were you thinking right here?
Why did you throw this pass?
You had to be scared.
You saw a ghost."
Like when you were quarterback.
What was the game he threw? What was it 2 weeks ago, where he threw the pick at the first down marker, and all he had to do is throw it out of bounds?
It was Tampa Bay, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Like, I want to turn the film on and be like, bro, what were you thinking?
Why?
You lost your team in the game.
And the 2-point conversion at the end of the game, he threw it too late.
He looks at it. He's like this. I should throw it. But I don't know. I'm like, bro, what? I just don't know what goes through the quarterback's mind sometimes. Like, the play is. We all saw that play. Everybody runs the same. It's a copycat league. Motion across, come zipping 100 miles per hour to the front of the pylon, throw it to him, hope he get in. Everybody runs the same play on the 2-yard line for a 2-point conversion. But Phil, who do you think is going to take it?
I got Philly. Since they already have the 1-game lead, plus all their offensive players is most of them are getting healthier again. Rieger's coming back. Zach Ertz is going to be back in a couple weeks. They just need that offensive line to be healthy, and then they could probably at least finish the season off with being at least the first place winner of the NFC East.
Lawrence.
I hope to everything that the Washington football team wins the division, because I do not want to hear their mouths about how they have a chance against the Saints, the Bucks, the Packers. They're going to literally say they have a chance in the playoffs if they make it. The fans are going to say that.
The only advantage right now that Philly has in that division, I mean, other than obviously having one more win than everybody, they have that tie. So at the end of the year, even if they all finish with 6 or 7 wins, that tie is going to be what gives Philly the spot. So, I mean, realistically speaking, Philly should win this division. They're a game and a half up on everybody, and none of them look like they want to win the division.
And they have the best quarterback in the division.
Right.
I don't know. But that Cowboys game against the Steelers, man, the Cowboys really showed some.
Didn't do bad, to be honest.
Yeah, the Cowboys really played good. Played really good that game, and you could see. I mean, I don't know.
We all said it on the podcast earlier, like when Dak went down. Like even when Dalton comes back, he's going to be their starter. Jerry Jones already said. It's not like Dalton's a bad quarterback.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing to have him in this situation right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like realistically, again, it should be either the Eagles or the Cowboys, and it shouldn't be a question. But it just when they play, they look like they don't want to win games. I've never seen anything like it. And this division, it's every year. I can't understand it. We need to realign the divisions or something, because this is just pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, listen, shout out to Gary Gilbert in that game for the Cowboys quarterback. He played his heart out that game. He really did. I mean, it came down to a last-minute heave. He had a chance to win the game against 7-0 Steelers. So, Cowboys, I mean, I hate the Cowboys. I hate to say it, but I feel like if they do get, a quarterback with some more experience back, they have the skill players to do it. They definitely have the defense to do it. I think they have a chance to win that division for sure.
Yeah, once they get him back, he's got 32,000 passing yards, 205 touchdowns, and his all-time completion percentage is 62. So
the red rifle.
That's not bad to have a backup quarterback that got those numbers. So
this is probably his best offense he's had so far.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah,
definitely is, because his whole career he's had AJ Green. That's it.
Giovanni Bernard.
That's it.
AJ Green and a young Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, but Tyler Boyd. He had Tyler Boyd
1 year.
Literally exactly, and Tyler Boyd didn't pop until this year, I'd say.
Yeah, young.
Yeah, he was hurt.
All right, so going from there, man. Another fun. We haven't done this in a while, but how's your fantasy football teams looking? Look at those face.
The thing that's crazy.
It was a good idea. It was a good idea to pick all the Ram players, man.
No, stop it. I'll tell you right now what killed my draft. I'll tell you, I can go back to the day that I did it, because I should have never done it. I picked Kenyon Drake in the first round. That's what I did.
That'll do it to you.
Killed my draft. Killed it. I thought
you fell into the hype.
Wait, how many people? Let me ask you something. I got 2 questions for you.
What pick did he have?
Well, I had the last pick.
You had the last pick.
Yeah, so I had back-to-back. So I went Devontae Adams first and Kenyon Drake after him.
Second question. What were you drinking that night?
I was actually drafting the Wendy's parking lot. I was getting some food.
Oh, see, you were distracted.
No, but what's crazy though is fantasy experts projected him as a top. I wasn't taking him top 10, but he was projected as a top 10 running back this year.
We
a top 10 player. He was. Kenyon Drake was a top 10 fantasy player this year.
He was.
On every single outlet.
Every outlet you read, NFL, Yahoo,
ESPN, Sleeper, everything. He was a top 10. He was a top 5 running back and a top 10 fantasy player.
Because they had no running backs coming in, and he went off at the end of the year last year.
Two reasons I didn't believe in him. Right. One was you obviously had Edmonds come and take the position from him last year when he was hot and then fizzled out. And then the second, you have the bad toddler at quarterback. They're going to run with him.
He ran a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what killed it. What killed it was DeAndre Hopkins. That's what killed it. Once they got that weapon over there.
Yeah, and that's another reason. Yep, exactly.
That they were like, we don't need to run the ball as much. And if they're gonna run the ball, why not run the ball with their best runner in the bad toddler?
They gave Edmonds 25 totes.
Yeah, I mean they got a good 1-2 punch over there. I'm just Kenyon Drake, and I don't know.
Speaking of Edmonds, I mean Lawrence, what's good with that trade, bro?
That's a bad trade for me, bro. I gotta keep Edmonds.
I'm in second to last.
You need a running back bad right now.
I'm in second to last in the league.
Yeah, I see you.
It's bad. It's real bad. Second to last.
But right now, my one league I had started off 0-3. I'm on a tear right now. 6-0 in the last 6 weeks.
Oof.
Everybody was trying to trade with my team. They called my team trash in the chat. Your team sucks. And then I go and beat the top guy. He's like, I think he's like 8-0, 9-0 or something like. No, he's 8-0 at this point. Beat him by 20 points. He has nothing to say. ... in the chat. GG's, bitch. Fuck out of here.
In all my leagues, I am 3-6, but only one game out of the playoffs still, so it's not over.
Oh yeah,
But injuries have tanked me. Listen to my one team, the injuries I got pummeled with this year. I drafted Nick Chubb, who obviously, finally coming back, but gone. I have Julio Jones, who missed 2.5 games.
Yep.
I have George Kittle, who is now out for the year and missed games earlier.
See ya.
I had Jimmy Garoppolo, done. I had Tariq Cohen, done.
See ya.
It's been injury after injury after injury. Well, because he was my fourth running back. So I needed something like a scat back. And he would have been perfect for a PPR league to put him in there on bye weeks. Yep. But then he decided he wants to do whatever. He tears ACL. That's only one league. My other league, I had Barkley, gone. I have Julio in that league too, gone. I have Kittle in that league too, gone. I picked up Dallas Goedert when he went nuts. Next week, gone. I got Justin Jackson in both these leagues. Last week, he decides he wants to hurt his knee on the first play of the game.
Killed me.
All three of us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's go back to my other team. I had Ryan Fitzpatrick, who decided
who got hurt.
Bench
you said Justin Jackson.
Justin Jackson, the first play of the game, twisted his knee.
Oh,
here's
damn.
Here's the best part.
Came back, claimed him healthy, and then didn't play. He just didn't.
I gotta ask you something. Who's the running backs in y'all waiver wires?
That's it. I don't have anybody.
I'm not picking him. He's not being on my team.
That's
Justin
the only
Jackson.
running back.
But he was good when he was healthy.
He was
when
when
Eckler went down, he's their guy.
Yeah.
The problem is just that there's so few teams that have like a workhorse back that unless you get one of them, you're playing the waivers all year long on running back.
I'll tell you my top 5 running backs right now on the waiver wire. We got Wayne Gallman, Devontae Freeman, Jordan Wilkins, Gus Edwards, and Rex Burkhead. That's the top 5 running backs on my waiver wire.
That sounds like my league. Although I was somehow able to pick up J.D. McKissick in both of my leagues this week. So God bless.
That's another
great flex play.
Great. Listen, that's one thing I was going to talk about when I was talking about the Washington football team. Sorry, Alex Smith's current depth of target in their last game was 2.4 yards. He's dink and dunk all day. So if you got a Washington running back, J.D. McKissick or
Antonio Gibson,
play them.
Wait, what about Scary Terry? He been killing since
but Scary Terry caught a slant. Scary Terry caught a slant and made people miss. He didn't throw it down. You know what I mean? Alex Smith is not. I don't think he has the leg power to push off with that busted up leg. So that depth of target stat is real. I think it was like 2.4 to 304. So if you got a Washington running back, play him.
Oh, that's who else I had. I had Cortland Sutton too. Gone. See, my team is
I did too.
Literally, my team is literally if they're on the IR, they were on Kenny's fantasy team.
Do you want to hear something sad though? Like, let me just read you my team, and you'll tell me how I lost this. How I'm losing this league. Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, James Robinson, Chris Carson, T.J. Hawkinson, Terry McLaurin, Matt Ryan, DJ Moore on the bench, Kenyon Drake on the bench, T. Higgins on the bench, Sterling Shepard on the bench. How am I in second to last with that team?
Bad weeks. You're bad putting.
It's all about matchups.
Back-to-back weeks, I played against 1 week. The 1 week I played against Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett on the same team. That was the week that they combined for 97 points. And the week before that, I played against oh man, I can't even think of it right now. It was a quarterback that went off for like 50. It was insane.
I suggest for league commissioners out there, like my league, for one of my leagues we do, it's a 6-team playoff. 6 teams get in the playoffs. The top 5 are just by record. Last year we gave the 6th spot to out of the remaining teams whoever scores the highest points because matchups will kill you. Like you could be 1-12, but have one of the best teams in the league. So last year we went by points. This year, because some people didn't like that, we changed it up. We go by overall wins. So like every week we do like what our record would be if we played everybody that week. So like for example, I'm like 39 and whatever against the whole league. So I'm like 3 games out. Like so you got to make it fun. Yeah, you got to make it fun because it's like Neil said, his team is good. He's just getting crap matchups.
I played Justin Jefferson the week before where he went off for 41. Hasn't done anything since then, by the way. So I went against Justin Jefferson for 41 that week. The week after, I played against Russ and Lockett, who combined for 96 points. And then the week after that, I play against DK Metcalf, who goes up for 42.
Right, it's crazy. Like I had a year where I finished with the 3rd most points in the league, and I finished in 2nd to last. That should never happen.
Right.
Like
yeah, I think because I'm in like 5th or 6th in one league, and I'm like the 3rd highest scoring in the league.
It makes you never want to play fantasy football again. You want to throw your phone every Sunday. It's like, oh, I put up 150 points this week. That's cool because they scored 270. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Man. So ending here. What's your guys' favorite game for this week coming up besides your own team?
Seahawks Rams.
Favorite game besides your favorite team playing?
Oh, that's tough. Let me think.
Oh,
Go ahead. You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really like the San Fran Saints game, and it's a toss-up between San Fran Saints and Bills Cardinals. Those are my 2 favorite. I probably if San Fran had a quarterback and Kittle, it'd be more interesting. But for sure, the Cardinals and the Bills game, I think is going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, Bills Cardinals was going to be my pick too. Just I think those 2 young quarterbacks, that's going to be a show and a half. But underrated game I think this week is going to be the Chargers and Dolphins. Tua versus Justin Herbert. That's going to be a show too. So I'm torn between those 2.
I'm gonna go with Browns and Texans. Ooh. Basically off the sole purpose Kenny mentioned earlier, Nick Chubb potentially could be playing this week, so we got to see how the Browns look with Nick Chubb. So I think him and Kareem Hunt are going to split time, but it's going to be exciting to see how the Browns play without Odell, but with Nick Chubb coming back.
Good point.
That would be a huge shootout.
Yeah. So, I would like to see Nick Chubb get 25 touches for sure.
Yes, please. My fantasy team needs it.
I
waited so long for him just to come back.
Chubb. Let's go. You in the flex.
Right.
Yo, he's my RB1.
Bro, listen, I don't know how it happened. I got Aaron Jones, Kamara, and Chubb.
I don't know how that happened.
So
I got Cook and Chubb.
Steamrolling, man. But
did they draft all quarterbacks?
Yeah,
do you have any wide receivers?
They were drafted terribly. They were drafted terribly, man. It was bad. It was bad.
We'll have to do a fantasy football league next year for the podcast.
Oh, definitely. So I think for me, you guys had some good games. I was looking at the Chargers, Dolphins. I like that one. But I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh and Cincy. Because I'm a Burrow fan. I like watching him week in, week out, see what he's doing. So I'm excited to see what he does against Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if Cincy will win, but I still want to see what he does when he's running for his life. So.
He will be.
Yeah, apparently, I was listening to Colin Cowherd today, and I think he said Joe Burrow has the most 300-yard games of all quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh, he probably does.
It was something like that. It's like
that's just crazy.
Behind that offensive line, that is nuts.
That's nuts.
Because listen, T. Higgins showing up.
T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, AJ Green.
Yeah. Is Joe Mixon playing this week?
Maybe. Maybe he might. I hope he is for my fantasy team. I need him.
You got everyone, don't you? You got all the running
Right.
backs.
Well,
Hey,
Lawrence
man.
has 6 or 8 leagues. So
I got
at some point you have every player in the NFL.
That makes sense. Have his picks from that receipt. It makes sense. He's in 6 8.
Joe Burrow's got
Right.
5 games of 300 plus yards.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, he has it was 5 games. I'm pretty sure that's the most of any quarterback.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Crazy.
So man, like we're gonna keep
Playoffs?
What?
We picking in playoffs or no?
who said playoffs?
Yeah, we picking who we thinking?
What you
Contenders,
thinking?
pretenders?
We got week 10. Week 10 is here. So what y'all thinking, man?
I think right now the team to beat, if I'm going, let's say like a top 3 right now in the NFL for sure. The team to beat for me, Kansas City. I know they have a loss and Pittsburgh's 8-0, but Kansas City, it just every time they touch the field, they look unstoppable. I can't fathom a team beating them, especially if it comes to a shootout. You're not throwing more passes than Pat Mahomes. There's no quarterback better than him. I think Kansas City for sure right now is a team to beat. Number 2, I'd probably go Pittsburgh. And number 3, I mean, it's the LA Rams. They're slept on hard. They're gonna come through the end of this hard ass end of their schedule, and they're gonna show people what the fuck they're about. But Kansas City for sure, Pittsburgh number 2, LA Rams number 3.
Yeah. Going off of him, I mean, we pretty much agree Steelers and Chiefs are the top 2. But after this week, it might have the Saints might have to be number 3, to be honest, because it's for the NFC. It's between the Saints and Seahawks for me, and then knowing that the Saints have the better defense than Seattle, that might boost them up into them being the better team in the NFC than the Seahawks. So
Interesting take, bro.
I'm gonna go with. I still put Pittsburgh as number 1 just because they're undefeated. Yeah, they played a close game that they shouldn't have played. I'm not gonna say they didn't, but it happens. Everyone throws up a dud once in a while. Like the Chiefs throw up a dud and lost their game. Like the Steelers put up a dud and still found a way to win. That's still impressive to me. The Chiefs are my number 2 team though because Patrick Mahomes and that team just they find ways to win. Yeah. Exactly. Like they just find ways to win. Yeah. And then my 3rd team, I'm going with the Packers because I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to get hot and keep going. And I really would love to see Aaron Rodgers get to the Super Bowl and either play against the Steelers so we can see maybe like the last battle of the old guard with Big Ben and Aaron Rodgers, like before we pass the torch, or we get Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Oh my God! I would not. I'd play that game on repeat for the rest of my life.
Endless amount of commercials to make that game.
I think that either like the NFL has to be praying right now. You get Aaron Rodgers versus one of those 2 teams because the storylines will be crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And Kenny, I'm gonna agree with you on your 3. I'm not gonna say the Saints quite yet. I'm gonna just keep humble and take it week by week like I always do.
What kind of fan are you?
I always take it. This is how I always am. I'm not gonna be like Super Bowl. I'm not like Super Bowl like you.
I didn't say Super Bowl. I just said contender.
Yeah, but they're the only NFC team you picked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to the Super Bowl. Like, you're not beating the Saints. You're not beating the Packers. Like, and you probably won't beat Seattle either. Like, we're being honest.
Yeah, but wait. If Jared Goff brings a suitcase right-handed on a certain day, he might be able to make the Super Bowl.
Right, exactly. Like,
depends on what hand his suitcase is using.
If he hits a hole-in-one on his private golf course in his backyard on the Saturday evening before his game on Sunday when they play at 1:00 on the West Coast.
Oh, none of these are real stats.
All right, man. But once again, man, we had another great episode here. This is week 10 is coming up. I'm really excited for the games this week. NFL is doing a good job on the schedule, man. I'll say that. Last year, I looked at 2018 on Facebook. I was mad every week. I keep seeing them week by week. The memories come up, and it's me like, NFL, you suck. The schedule's trash. Like, I never share them though. It's hilarious, but I think they put a good schedule together this year. And like I said, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for being consistent with me. Kenny, Phil, and Neil. That got a nice ring to it, you know? Like, we're out of here, though. Catch you.